Okay, first, peppermint patty check, alfalfa sprout check.
Okay. Everybody's good.
Okay.
Good morning.
Hello, everybody again.
We figured it out. We figured out the split screen scene.
Okay, because we figured it out. Well, you kind of figured it out. We need to do our first high five. You ready?
Oh, gosh.
High five. Okay.
We're so stupid.
It's been so long, and I hate it. I know it's been a week, and it's been a really long week for me, Deb. I got sick coming back on from the plane. I didn't get sick on the plane.
You sound like you're better, though.
Yeah, I am so much better today.
I'm so glad.
The last few days have been really... When you don't feel like knitting...
You're sick.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
So I just muddled through what patients I could see, and Skyline got strep throat, so I was home with her on Wednesday. But now I'm feeling much better, and it's beautiful this weekend. And it's St. Patty's week, and we both have something green on.
Somewhat green, yeah. So let's introduce ourselves, because we are the Periscoping Sisters.
Yes.
I'm Debbie.
And I'm Amy.
And I'm in San Diego.
And I'm in Georgia, and I am the oldest, and I told myself I wasn't going to lie, at least not at the very beginning.
That's very good of you this time. We are going to try not to lie this time, and we're going to try and turn our filters on so that I don't have to worry about editing, and I don't have to do all that, because I still am not quite sure I know how.
Yes, because we got in a lot of trouble by only one person last time.
That's right.
That was my husband. And he's an over-the-road truck driver, and he was driving back from Michigan, and he was watching the podcast, and he called me, and he said, "What did you say at the end of your podcast?" And I said, "Be kind or be quiet." He said, "Uh-huh." "And who taught you how to knit?" I said, "My mother." And he said, "Uh-huh." "And who taught Debbie how to knit?" Said, "My mother."
Mm-hmm.
He said, "That's right. And who do you call when you have knitting 911 questions?"
My mother.
My mother. And that's all he had to say.
Yeah.
But on the better hand of it, Debbie and I stressed so much. We almost honestly, seriously thought about deleting the video.
We kept looking at each other all morning saying, "Oh my gosh, what are we going to do? What did we do?
What have we done?" So once we got in contact with my dad.
And wait, let me just explain, because it was a long podcast, and there may be people that watched part of it and didn't see all the way through to the part that we're talking about, but it happened right about minute 46 or so. So if you didn't get that far and you don't know what we're talking about, you can pop back over to our first episode, go to minute 46, and you'll understand what we're talking about.
Yes. So anyway, my father said that they absolutely loved the podcast.
And we were just like,
I was like, thank God, because now they'll invite me back, and I won't have to stay under a bridge or at Debbie's the whole time. I wasn't divorced as one of the kids.
Right.
So let's tell them a little bit more about us other than just our first names.
Okay, well, wait a minute. We also wanted to say today is Saturday, March 12th.
That's right, because I really like when people tell the date, because when you're watching back and you know what episode it is, you don't have any idea of like what time of
2016, as if we'll be doing this for years and years, but you never know.
You know what? When
never know.
Nobody watches again, that's going to be the end. No, we'll keep doing podcasts because Mom and Dad like to watch us.
Yeah.
They get to see you all the time, but they don't get to see me.
That's right.
That's right. Mom and Dad. And they're such good sports. So I am Inked Indigo on Instagram and Indigo Amy on Ravelry.
And I am Debbie S. Reese on Instagram, and it's DEBBY. And then I'm Debbie Reese on Ravelry, and Debbie Reese on Periscope.
And if Debbie can figure out how to edit and put in words, then she'll put in all these words
down here.
In the
down bar, or not in the down bar. I don't even know what the down bar is. Is that on the YouTube channel?
If you push the little button right underneath the video, like before you make it on the full screen, it drops down and it has like everything they talk about.
Okay.
Did I actually teach you something?
I think you did.
Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of myself.
You teach me stuff all the time. You teach me what not to do. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, Hey, just like Chris would say.
I know, that was how many minutes? We're not very far in. We're only not even 5 minutes in. I'm sorry, Christine Kelly. I'm sorry. We're going to be nice to each other.
She said 25 minutes in the podcast and they're already arguing, and I'm thinking, that was really,
pretty
really
good.
25 minutes, that might be a record. So we already scrapped that out.
Yeah. Okay, so we did that. We wanted to say thank you to Mom and Dad again for not disowning us and being so supportive of everything we do. And we know you're watching, and we're glad we figured out this split screen thing so that we can keep doing this. And thank you so much. We love you, love you, love you. Mwah.
And thank you for everybody else who decided to come back. I mean,
yeah.
Debbie and I were kind of, Debbie was just like, I'm kind of nervous. I'm like, you're probably nervous because I'm not there with you. And she says, no, but, all these people watched and they really enjoyed it. And now they're going to see the second one. They're going to be like, that's it.
What was that all about? And I've given presentations to groups of people, but they've never been more than a couple
really
people.
Listening, though.
Well, I know they probably weren't.
They're
You're
probably
right.
playing on their phone.
But the thought of, I don't know, several hundred people watching is just kind of overwhelming and makes me just kind of speechless. So.
But they're all just watching, like, in their own living rooms and stuff like that. So
I know. I know they're not all together, so that's a good way of thinking of it. That's good.
And they can't throw eggs at us because
that's true.
There.
And they can always press stop if they want to.
And unsubscribe. That's fine. It's not for everybody.
No.
So Debbie's got all the notes, so I'm just going to sit here and let her cue me.
Well, I get to be in charge for once.
You think?
Yes.
Okay, we'll see how that works out.
So our next little segment is our Life is Short segment. And Amy, I don't know if you have any stories to tell this week.
Yes, and I always like to tell little stories, and Debbie knows most of these stories. She didn't know the one last week about me reading to my parents. And Tracy from the Grocer Girls, we were on Instagram or something and commented. She said, "Thank God she wasn't reading 50 Shades of Grey."
I don't think they would have let you read that. Had they been reading it, they would have said, Amy's coming. Sure. We're going to have to put this book away until after she leaves.
Yes, and we shouldn't have even said the word 50 Shades of Grey because Mom and Dad will probably go out and get it.
They will. Well, I don't know if they will.
If they do, then they can do that in the privacy of their own home.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
So anyway, I wanted to, and this is our little segment where we just talk about just stuff that's going on with us. I wanted to tell a really awesome story about my parents. Well, really funny story. There's so many stories with Wendy and Debbie and I and my parents. We're just like one big fun crew. But I never remember, as a child growing up, a holiday gathering without somebody else at the table that was not our family member.
That's so true.
Every year we had somebody else. Well, this particular year it was a Thanksgiving. I think it was Thanksgiving. I can't remember if it was Thanksgiving or Christmas. And we had invited one of my mother's friends who was not treated very nicely through the years by her husband. She had her two sons who were probably in their 20s. So they came over for dinner. And I don't know. I think maybe it was Debbie. I think it was you, Debbie, that probably ratted on these boys. Where they were outside on the front porch smoking, and they were drinking. Like not
How
a fifth
old
of
were
whiskey.
they?
They were probably in their early 20s. In their 20s, they had to be, maybe late teenagers. They were drinking, and it wasn't a flask. What is it called? It's not a fifth. Is it an eighth? It was like a bottle.
Oh, a bottle.
That big. Okay, so one of us told Mom, well, she just marched herself out on that front porch. And I was looking through the window.
You were spying.
I was spying. I had to see. I was looking through the window from the front porch. She grabbed a hold of that bottle in front of those two boys and she turned it upside down. Glug, 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 glug,
I don't
glug,
remember
glug,
this.
glug. Yes, into the bushes. And she says, I don't care what you boys do, but you're not going to ruin your mother's dinner today. I'm thinking, holy cow. That is my mother. I'm telling you what. This is a woman that, I don't know if you call it women's lib or what, but she was just going to make sure this woman was going to have a fabulous dinner. She wasn't going to have her drunk sons come in and make the scene, so she just dumped out, and they were probably thinking,
who is this lady?
It was the last time they came to our house. So, I don't know if they remember it. I don't even know if they're still around. But I know Mom and Dad's going to remember it. So that's just who my parents are. They would take in anybody, they'd give the
Yeah.
shirt off their back.
And
Wendy
she
was the
lived with
same
us for a
exact
while,
way.
did she not? She lived with us for a while.
I think she may have.
Yeah.
We were kind of in and out of high school, college. It
Yeah.
was that time.
Yeah.
Do you have any Life is Short stories?
Well, we have a bunch of family coming into town this afternoon. A lot of my husband's family, his sister and her children and their children are all coming into San Diego this afternoon. So we're going to get to have all the cousins together, all the little kids running around.
And they're a fun group,
They
aren't
are. They're really fun. So,
yeah.
my...
Where are they going to sleep? Are they going on the floor? On
no,
the couches?
they have a timeshare. They're going to stay at the timeshare.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Kimberly and Jonathan have a new little baby. She's, oh my gosh, I think she's a year old almost. Just over a year old, I think. And
Sweet.
Mara, and she's so cute. You know, they get to be so fun when they get to be that age where they're really starting to, you know, be interactive and stuff like that. So it's going to be fun.
Then they talk.
Yeah.
And it's all downhill from there.
I know.
Oh, we're kidding.
Okay, so we have some group news. We're just going to touch on a couple things because we have a lot we want to talk about today. But as you may recall, or maybe you don't know if you're a new viewer, we have a little traveling fiber unicorn that was needle felted by Andre Sunit's daughter, Abigail. And and our little unicorn is traveling around the world. We have a sign-up thread in our Ravelry group, Periscoping Sisters on Ravelry. And this past week, she was with Cher in Texas. And I have to say, Cher, you were almost in trouble because you had her for like 4 days.
I saw that. I'm thinking, oh my gosh! I was looking at the post with the hashtag, and I thought 2 weeks ago, how long has she had her?
She had her for way too long. She was very naughty, Cher.
We almost
had to come out there and she almost kidnapped her. But anyway,
come out there.
So, you know, because we have so many people on the list, we want to try and keep Gabicorn traveling.
People, Debbie.
I know. It's going to be forever. So we can't have her be a week in every place or it would be 2 years before, you know, we got her around. So we want to try and remind people to keep her moving, keep her for a day, 48 hours, and then send her on her way. Take pictures, post on YouTube, on Instagram. Yes. Hashtag is Traveling Fiber Unicorn. She's off to Debbie. Oh, no. Cher is in California, right? Yeah. So Debbie is in Texas. She's number 12 on the list. And then after Debbie, she goes to Renee in Pennsylvania. So she'll be traveling eastward now. Yeah. So it's really fun to look that hashtag up on Instagram and see all the pictures.
Other than Canada, she hasn't been out of the country yet, has she? She hasn't been overseas.
No, she hasn't been overseas yet.
We've got people signed up from Sweden, Norway.
Yeah, all over.
Chile.
It's going to be fun. I really like seeing all the different pictures that people post in different places.
Like a message in a bottle that you get to keep track of.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. So that's fun.
What else is on our news list?
The Wendy Sky shawl. It was released last Friday, which is my first pattern.
Okay, so when you edit this, you find the little kids that go,
yay! I know. I need to. Yeah. So this is my Wendy Sky shawl pattern. I'm going to hold it up to the camera.
That's so pretty, Debbie.
Come through. And it's really funny because I see this.
She knitted it up. She's done. Did you know that?
Yes. I told her to send me some pictures. Yeah. This pattern right here with the little flowers, I see it popping up everywhere now. It's the same pattern that is in that sock pattern that Lara from the Fawn Knits.
Oh, really? That was she just
with
posted?
Her terrarium colorway. It's the same pattern, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's popping up everywhere. It's so cool. Yeah, that's cool. That's
Aren't you glad you invented that stitch, Debbie?
Another lie, people. Another lie. That's number 2. Well, no, that was number 1. That was number 1. I'm going to keep count.
Okay, you keep count.
Just like Christine Kelly. Do you see your new hashtag she gave you?
No, what did she give me?
Bossy Kitty.
She is so true.
So now it's not just going to be Bossy Kitty. It's going to be Big Fat Liar Bossy Kitty. No.
Very funny.
So anyway, we're doing a knit along in the group. I still have to figure out what our giveaway prizes are. I don't have a finished object thread open yet because nobody's gotten that. Although we do have one. Missy Crafty Mess has her green and black. And the contrast is so pretty on that. I am like, it was really cool. So join the group in Ravelry. If you're knitting up that Wendy Sky, please tag on Instagram Wendy Sky Shawl so that I can take a look and see all the pretty colors. It ends May 31st. I made it a long one so people have plenty of time. Okay. I figured people might want to do it for Mother's Day like Eric did and gift it or something like that. So I think that's all. I don't have any prizes yet. I'm trying to figure out what our prizes should be. But once I do that, we'll do probably like from the chatter thread and from the finished objects thread, just like all the normal stuff. So random number org, yes, or I don't know.
Nothing exciting that nobody will follow.
Hey,
on, think of something.
Vicky followed it, and she was very thankful that she did. So that was a good thing.
That's why she's the big star.
The big star. Yeah. She had a nice mention on her podcast and also on her Instagram. Well, hang on.
Okay.
Before we go
don't
there.
Get ahead of your notes.
Don't get ahead unless you want to do that next. We can do it out of order. I don't care.
Okay,
you want to do that next?
Ahead. You might as well. Good segue. Go ahead.
Good segue. Okay. So we wanted to say thank you to some of the other podcasters that shouted out to us.
That's so awesome.
Like we said, I was just so overwhelmed. Every morning this week, I would get a little text from Amy, and it would have one number with a little hash and then another number. And she would tag me with like, this is how many people subscribed, and this is how many people, how many views we've had. And every morning I was just like, oh my God, I can't do this. I can't handle this. It's too crazy.
Well, we can stop now. Do we need to stop?
Yeah, I think we should just stop. We should stop while we're ahead, and then we don't have to live up to anything.
Okay, push stop record.
Okay, you ready?
Okay, you lied.
I lied.
You do it.
So, the first people, of course, that mentioned us were Chelsea and Sue on the Legacy Knits podcast, and they recorded
They're good at gossiping.
They are.
Aren't they?
They are. But, you know, they're the best enablers. I see so many cool patterns on their podcast and the yarns that they have, and they've already traveled around, and they've gone on field trip, and I just...
snacks, which is always
yes,
good.
I know, and they're just so fun to watch. And they were with us when we were having so much trouble uploading this darn thing the last time we were actually hanging out with them. And
or more.
yeah, and so we really wanted to say thank you to Chelsea and Sue. You guys are the reason. I mean, you're the first real community that we started hanging out with through Periscope and getting to know, and it's just kind of ballooned from there. And we feel like you were there with us at the very beginning when we first started periscoping. So thank you so much.
You were in the labor and delivery room.
Who
you
was?
You cut the cord.
Oh.
That's
not a visual that I need to see.
Legs up in the air.
No.
So,
don't go there.
Everybody knows Chelsea and Sue, but they're Legacy Knits.
Legacy Knits. And then this past week, nobody needs an introduction for this gal. Mina mentioned us on her podcast, which was just like, wow, we were starstruck, and she's so sweet, and it was so nice of you to mention and recommend people come over and watch us. So thank you so much, Mina.
Wolf Farms.
Yes, Wolf
Which
Farms.
I didn't even know about.
Neither did I. Dawn and James, they were coming out of the woodwork. Everybody's talking about them now, so they're very sweet. I need to go on their website and check out some of their smelly soaps and things like that, because I've been looking for some good wool wash that's in like a bar type, you know, that you just kind of swish in the water and clean your socks with and stuff. So
I bet you they could hook you up.
They could hook me up.
If you buy two, you get the first one free. I think that's what they got.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
You buy two, you get the first one free.
Oh. Amy. Can you tell I'm a good listener? It's still early over here.
You're a good listener.
She's mean, you guys.
I'm not mean.
She is mean. She's making me look like I'm a ding-dong, and I'm not a ding-dong. I'm really smart.
She really is smart.
I promise.
She's a math wizard. She's an engineer.
She's a math wizard. Not quite a math wizard. So
do you
anyway.
have a pocket protector when you go to work? Do you wear like a shirt like the men with a pocket protector?
I do.
I really think you probably should. Okay, so moving along. So, and then Christina and Amanda from the Die Another Day podcast. Yeah. Christina is the cozy knitter. Yep. And Amanda is the yarn enabler, and we all know them from Instagram and the wonderful yarns that they dye. And I wanted to say that I'm really sorry that I didn't mention you last week, because I had meant to. I had my socks up here
with her yarn. Not these socks, but the other socks from the first episode. Yeah. And her celebration yarn. And actually on her latest podcast, she said thank you to both me and Tracy, because she said her celebration yarn is like going crazy now and people are buying it out all over the place. And she thinks it's because we posted and talked about it. So you guys love your podcast. I feel like we're podcast twinnies because we both started on the same week and we both had our first episode out the same, like within days of each other. So thank you for your mention on your second podcast very much.
Thank you.
Yes. And then, let's see, Sockcetra, Miss Shannon, I love her. She's is so adorable. Cute. And I love how she speeds up those little segments at the beginning where she's talking like this. It's just so cute in her entry to her podcast. So I really like her. And she always, like Jenny from Lone Larch podcast said, she always leaves you thinking about something a little bit deeper than just the knitting, which is very cool. I like that a lot. Yeah. And then we can't forget the last two are. Because I don't have show notes. I don't have notes. Who are they? Just our sister Canadians. Our sisters. Oh my gosh, Amy! Yesterday I was driving home. It was pouring down rain. I was coming back from the yarn store. And I was watching their podcast, and I kid you not.
At the same time, Debbie, when you were just like.
I was a few minutes ahead of you. So I was watching on my way home, and it's raining, and it doesn't rain very often in San Diego, and the traffic was terrible, and I was like, I don't even care. I'm sitting in traffic. I don't care because I got my girls.
Who were we watching?
I said the Grocery Girls. Yes, the Grocery Girls. Of course, everybody knows them. Jody and Tracy from the Grocery.
They're like our twinnies.
Yes, and it's funny because Jody actually mentioned that she feels connected to you because of the ages of your kids and stuff, and when she said, no, even better yet, pause us right now and go over there and subscribe. I went like that. I was driving and I went, nobody ever says pause us right now.
Say stop watching this to go watch somebody else. How sweet was that?
That's craziness.
I bet you Tracy was kicking her underneath the table saying, Jody,
she was agreeing. She was agreeing. Tracy is sweet. Both of them are so sweet. And we, I sent them a message. I said, I wish I could just like give you real hugs in real person instead of these stupid virtual hugs through Instagram because they're so sweet and they're so generous with their giveaways and their community and their thoughtfulness and we just.
Isn't that funny how Tracy went on her Etsy shop and bought a couple times?
That cracks me up. They just have such love for each other and they're three kids. They have a younger brother. And Jody is actually in the middle, and maybe that's why you and her kind of connect like that. But anyway, thank you guys so much. Yes. We really feel like
we're going to talk about you again in a little while.
Yes. Oh, that's right. We will. That's right. We will. Okay, so that's it for our shout-outs, I believe.
And thank you guys for watching. And I don't know if we've said this. We've just been really, really overwhelmed. So for those who are coming back, welcome back. And for those who haven't seen us before, welcome.
Because like Sue and Chelsea say, there are so many podcasts out there, you guys. And there's so many to choose from. And the fact that you guys have chosen to come and watch us and come back even after the crazy first episode, we so appreciate it. And we just love spending time hanging out with you guys and visiting and knitting and sharing what we're doing. So I think we've been doing enough talking, Amy. We need to show some stuff.
It's going to stop for using too many words.
I know. So you want to do finished objects or works in progress first?
I don't have any finished objects.
Well, I don't have any finished objects either.
Actually, I did. Go ahead. I do have a couple finished objects. They're old, like Jody says. They're FOs from.
That's what I have on today. That was what I was going to show. Okay, so this is my first mystery knit along that I ever did. It was the Curious Handmade podcast and designer. Gosh, I don't know why I can't think of her name right now. Helen Stewart, I think, is her name. Yes. And she had a mystery knit along this summer called the Summertide. It was at the end of summer into fall, I think. And I just loved it. This is my Summertide.
I love those colors. Those colors are they are you. Those are your colors.
Isn't it beautiful?
It is pretty. It's prettier than mine because I didn't follow the pattern. And I didn't even realize I didn't follow the pattern until months later when Debbie said, the reason why yours doesn't look like mine at the bottom is because you didn't follow the pattern.
Well, I have to admit, it was a little bit confusing because
I was wondering why my stitch count was off, but that happens to me all the time. So you just say, well, you just knit two together until you have the right...
Well, you were right. Your stitch count wasn't off because these things alternate.
I know.
And that's why it wasn't intuitive when they ended up alternating. So anyway, this top yarn...
I straight rows because I didn't follow the pattern. Not on purpose this time. Most of the time I do it on purpose. That was not on purpose.
Yeah. So this yarn is actually Madeline Tosh. I don't remember the name of the colorway. It's on my project page. And then this was... Gosh, I should have written it down.
Yeah, you gave me... Well, you put it down there.
That's right. Maybe I can put it down there.
Yeah.
If I remember.
Down there.
If I can figure out how to do that.
Well, I got on my... this was actually the protocol for the Because
Prototype.
Prototype. Not the protocol. A lot of protocols that I follow. The prototype for the Because I Love You wrap. And I'm going to take it off because it's 79 degrees here in Georgia this morning. So it's not exactly the way the end.
Yeah, there's no bridge. There's like one row of the bridge.
It's just, you have to point everything out.
I'm sorry. People see that, though.
You have to say it in front of everybody.
I'm sorry.
Anyway. And I'll let Debbie know what, I think this was Blueberry Bucket was the name of it. And I'm not sure what the green was. And we're going to be very bad at enabling if we can't remember our yarns. So how are people going to go buy the stuff?
I know. I'm going to put it right here.
Down there.
You're going to have to text me what those yarns are so I can put it down there.
I will. I got homework already. And I picked some things out of my bag of stuff that when I started knitting back again, I started knitting little hats and headbands for little kids. And I just pulled out, and Debbie probably hasn't seen half of these.
Oh my gosh.
Look at this cute little headband. And I don't even know. I mean, I remember going to California.
That looks like that'll fit a giant. Put it on your head. I dare you. You won't. No, on your head, like a headband.
Like, I can't get it over my head.
It's too small?
Yes, it's for a child.
Okay.
Well, you're not paying attention at the beginning.
It looked like it was big.
Maybe start over.
It would look like it was big because it was way up at the front like that.
Okay. So look at this one.
Oh my God.
Isn't that cute? This is like for a little tiny baby.
Oh my gosh, Amy.
And this is one I made.
You need to send that to me so I can give it to my niece. Oh my gosh. You need to send those to Greg, the knitting daddy, because he does those preemie contribution things.
I can do that, Debbie.
Yes.
Okay, all right, you got a good idea. She has a good idea. Okay.
Now and then I do.
Okay, today you did. Very good. All right, moving along.
Okay, so
whips. Are we talking about whips now?
Whips. Right. We'll talk about whips. So, you want to go first?
Do you have what I think you have? The one we started Saturday night?
Yes.
Okay, you want to talk about that one first?
Okay.
Watch, I'm not going to be at the end of a row. Oh, yes, I am at the end of a row.
So am I.
Okay.
I never not finish at the end of a row.
So we're doing the knit along, the Grocery Girl 3-color cashmere shawl. I got these awesome neon dyed yarns from my good friend Chili. My good friend Connie. Her name happens to be Chili, and she lives in Chile. My good friend Connie.
Amy.
It's upside down. I'm sorry.
You did that on purpose.
I did not do that on purpose.
You saying Connie's upside down?
Huh?
Are you saying she's upside down?
No, the tag was upside down.
I
It
know.
wasn't backwards.
Not backwards.
Okay, so now everybody knows I have to modify patterns only because I don't know what's wrong with me. I just have to. So when we realized it was going to be 90 inches long, and we didn't really want it to be 90 inches long, so we just stopped doing so many increases, then that got my lower part off count, so my holes are lined up, which, I don't know, Debbie, can you see that?
I can.
So I did only 3 panels at the bottom, and then I started my stripes, and then I increased the stripes to a little bit wider, and now I'm at the pink panel.
That's pretty. Oh, I like how the dark purple is really popping out now.
Yeah, these little purple
Yes, that's
pink.
cool.
Isn't that pretty?
Does it just have orange and purple in that pink, or are there other colors?
There's,
Yeah, show the cake.
It's got some yellow and gold and pink and some lavender and some dark purple and little flecks of teal.
You gotta do the ooh.
Oh yeah, we have to do our. Wait, get one of yours. We'll do our periscoping yarns. Tell me when you're ready.
Okay, I'm ready.
You ready? Ah, and back. Okay. Such dingbats. Okay, show us yours, Deb.
Okay, so I'm doing the same thing where I'm not doing the number of increases that the pattern calls for because I didn't want it to be 1,000,000 yards long. And Hohi, we love you, but yeah, I just knew I didn't want it to be that big. So I am using 3 colors from my favorite yarn dyer, Vicky Bear, who does Bed and Woola yarn.
Oh, Debbie, you put in a little dark.
I did. I put
stripe.
one of the dark
Yes.
stripes in here, and I'm going to put another dark stripe down here before I start the dark panel. But these are my colors.
Very, very pretty.
And then this is going to be the dark panel.
I wish that pink showed a little better. It's like a real softy, like
It's a soft rose with, it's like
yes, that's better.
It's, I don't know, it's kind of it's a really mauvey, rosy pink, and it's variegated, so it has a lot of tonal color in it. And then this one I love too. This one's Tolstoy, and it's got all of these colors in it.
What's the names of the colorways?
This is Tolstoy. This one doesn't have a name. These were
How did you not give it a name?
I don't know. These were one of a kind. These were one of a kind colorways. They weren't repeatable colorways.
Okay.
And I didn't even buy them together. I just happened to buy a whole bunch of her yarn at different times, and those 3 just went together.
There's something so fun about yarns that have names. Sometimes we buy yarns because of the name.
I know.
Jules from Diary Yarn Stuff, she talked about that. I just love names of yarns. It makes you just want to go out and get them even more.
I can't wait to have this be blocked to where I can actually use it.
Over your breast. It works perfectly. We just have to hose you down.
So I forgot to talk about this work in progress, or this finished object.
Oh.
This is the Agatha socks. And I don't remember the designer's name, but it's also Vicky from Baron. Hang on one second. I'll turn my light a little bit so you get better light.
That's pretty, Debbie. Right there. Hold it. Ooh.
Ooh. This was Vicky's icicle colorway. And I knit these right after Christmas. These were my January socks.
Have you worn them?
I have. They're comfy.
And Debbie wears her socks around the house.
Of course. Where do you wear your socks?
In my shoes.
Well, I have tile floor, and the tile gets really cold, and it's nice to have cushy hand-knit socks when you walk around on cold tile.
I have wood floor, and there's one spot that comes out from the kids' bedrooms into the living room that I don't know why, but it's like a sheet of ice.
Oh my gosh.
And it's fallen twice. I'm sorry, I should be laughing at my daughter falling. She stands up and looks at me. Why did you make me do that? It's not my fault. I'm sitting there knitting and I look up and she's on the floor and I'm like, I told you guys. I don't know if we just have to put more grit or so. I don't know what it is. It's one little patch. And so I usually if I'm wearing socks, I usually have slides on because I'm always afraid, like little flip-flops or something, because I'm always afraid I'm going to bust my butt. Right in that one spot.
It reminds me of when we did our periscope that last time on the beach when you were here and that guy wiped out right in front of us.
Oh, you guys.
I think I have that
All that
Periscope.
happened after we did our podcast.
I think I have that Periscope saved on my phone. I'm going to try and get a clip
Gotta
of us
download
when it happens because
Gotta upload it.
I can put it in the middle.
I swear, isn't half of life, you probably will laugh more at people than you do at yourself.
And I know they weren't laughing at us because not 2 seconds before that, his girlfriend like went in the thick sand, and then he proceeded to just say, "Oh well, I can handle this," and totally wiped out in front of us.
There's like this big boulder under the sand, and he just like hit it and like fell over. Debbie.
There's a big skid mark in the sand where he fell. Okay,
so another thing I started, this is before I came to California, I started the Cladonia.
Oh, Aim, that's so pretty. That's like the same pink and purple.
I know, what is it with me? And
I've been all into pink too lately. I don't know what it is.
This is Ann Tudor's, one of her little glass beads that she made when we made into Progress Keeper. She is so incredible. Are you talking behind the scenes to people?
Guess who's over there? Guess who's right over there?
It must be my sweet nephew Lukey.
He's running away. Yes.
Okay, so I do know what yarns I'm using. This is Laura from the Fawn Knits. This is her candy shop. Or cotton candy. Hold on a minute. This is a one-of-a-kind cotton candy.
You know what he came out to get, Amy?
What?
He came and stole one of my cherries.
Ooh, your chocolate-covered cherries. Pop-Up's going to kill him.
Yeah.
And this is Heartbreak Kid from Primrose Yarn Company. Don't you love that?
Is that from... Oh, yes, you're right. I thought that was the Lemonade Shop one you have, but that's a different pattern.
No, that's a different one. Aren't those beautiful together?
Really pretty.
So, that's my Cladonia. There's something about stripes. You know, I've noticed the things that I love to make the most are wraps that have stripes. They're just...
Yeah, because you don't get bored.
That's probably what it is.
I have something stripy to show.
Show us something stripy. Oh my gosh, you just cast it on those little tiny...
They're like...
cast on those socks.
They're socks. They're toe-up socks.
Oh, Debbie, they're so cute. What colors are... What is that yarn?
This is Sweet Georgia yarn. I'm not sure the colorway name because I don't have the tag anymore.
Oh, you've had that yarn for a while now?
I have. I bought this actually from the Yarn Over truck when they were down here in San Diego.
Oh.
And it has yellow and orange and bright pink and maroon. And I think I'm going to do these for Candace's stripy sock cowl.
Oh, yes, that would be good.
But you know what I want to do? And I use my little needle cozies for not double pointed, for whatchamacallit, regular circular needles too.
Yeah.
This kind of is a good segue. Well, not really, but I saw a pattern on Instagram that Danny...
Your nails look pretty, Debbie. You got them done.
I did. Don't they look good?
Oh, yes, they look very good.
Thank you.
Anyway,
so there's a pattern called Mystic Spiral Socks by Sort of a Knitter, Josh. And I'm thinking about using that pattern for these socks. Now, these aren't like stripes, like bands of stripes,
right.
But I think it's stripes enough to where it would work.
Yes. What is it, a spiral?
So you go up the toe, and then you do like short rows, and it makes like an angled kind of stripe on the top part of your foot.
Yes.
And then it does the same thing. You use like mitered square on the sides, and you do like short rows, and then...
Sounds confusing.
Yeah, but I think it would look really cool with this.
I think it would. I think it would too.
I love how when I start my socks 2 at a time toe up, they look like little bathing suit tops.
I know. You wish. Keep on dreaming, baby.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to segue into something else because I foresee us needing tissues again.
Right.
Remember filter?
Yes.
Filter, okay.
Okay, so typically before we do our works in progress, we do, if there was no such thing as the capital W.
Yes.
And so that's what I was looking at this week and like thinking about wanting to knit, and that's what got me going on it. So, and then Amy, I know that you had mentioned you wanted to mention Riza Knits.
Yes.
That scarf she's got. Oh, Jenny, Jenny
Huh?
from Lone Larch, if you are watching this, you need to look up Riza Knits,
Yes.
Rizzaknits. She has the coolest scarf.
Yes. I thought of Jenny. I
I
thought
did
of Jenny
too.
when I saw
I
it.
did too.
I can only imagine. I mean, it's like 7 foot long. I don't know how. She said it took her a week to do. I'm sure she didn't hit on anything else. It is the most incredible thing. It's like the tree. It's like tree trunks, no leaves, no real branches. Some branches that branch out, and it's just long, and it has these.
It's
It
the
is
coolest
so
thing.
amazing, and she does have a new. I think she's got two. She's got 2 episodes out of a
Oh, does she
podcast. I think
podcast
it's.
too?
She does.
Oh.
Rizza After Dark, or we'll put it down here. Debbie will put it down here.
Debbie will put it down here in her
But
spare
she's
time.
the cutest girl. You have to go and watch her, but check out that pattern. I don't even know that it has a name yet. It's not up on Ravelry. She has some test knitters working on it.
Oh, they're working on it right now?
Yes, they're working on it now.
Oh.
She had to show it, and I'm just like, where did she get that? And it's, of course, and she also designs other things. She's got a sweater.
Really
She's got
cute, like tank kind of thing
Yes,
that comes
with
down
tail.
low in the back with like V.
Uh-huh.
It's chevron. It's really
Yes,
pretty.
yes,
really
yes.
pretty.
Yes.
And then another one that we wanted to make sure we mentioned as another thank you. Mina sent us her squishy shawl pattern as a gift, and that is so cool. And I'm probably going to have to live in front of that video because I don't know that I'm going to be able to do brioche.
It's only 8 minutes long, so you have to hit rewind.
And replay.
And replay.
And you and I have talked about this before, and I don't know if I will ever knit brioche. I really appreciate you sending me the pattern. I just don't feel like I would wear it because it's so hot here, and it doesn't get cold enough. But you know what I can do? I can knit it as a gift for somebody, right?
Yes, you could.
I can do it for somebody that
you know
lives
people
far
who live up
away.
in Pennsylvania.
Yes, I do. I know.
And Jersey.
Yes.
It gets cold there.
I know.
And I'm sure some of our great twinsy friends know people too, even them Canada people.
Yes.
And really, once I taught myself, well, I had to teach myself. I mean, it's not like I had somebody teach me, but I used videos and taught myself the brioche and the round. And I think that's different than brioche flat. So this is brioche flat. So I'm definitely going to have to watch.
And with the increases to make it the triangle, it's got to be hard.
It's not going to be that hard. Sue figured it out, so did Chelsea. We can do it too.
Okay.
And you're an engineer, so you have no excuse.
All right. Well, I might just be calling up Mina and saying I need an in-service.
Well, of course, like her best friend, why wouldn't she help you? But we are going to, we're definitely has that on our list. It's picking out your yarns, must be high contrast, light and very dark. It works the best. So
for what? Oh, brioche. Yeah.
Brioche. Yes.
Yes. So I know one of the things that we said we would be doing if we didn't have to do the capital W would be watching podcasts. So what do you do when you watch podcasts?
Oh. Okay. So since we're just all out there. Okay. So when my husband is on the road, which is usually during the week, and he's home on the weekends. He's not in the bed, so I can do whatever I want. I can be loud.
G-rated.
Yes, G-rated. I'm going to try to make it G-rated. So after I get out of the shower, I turn on my phone, and I turn it sideways, and I prop it on the vanity, and I watch podcasts in what God gave me.
In your birthday suit.
Yes.
It's so funny that you say that because I shouldn't say this out loud, but since we're being all out there, that's how I hang out with everybody on Sue's Periscope. They don't know it.
Oh my gosh, you do not. You're naked watching Periscope?
They can't see me.
I know, but at least I can stop the recording if I feel a little strange.
Well, that's what happens sometimes because, now that James gets up and goes and leaves early in the morning because his time with his job changed, now I don't have to worry about him coming up and being like, what are you doing? And who are you listening to? And all that. So now I can hop on when she's early. And
when she Periscopes on Monday, I'm going to get on there. I'm going to say, does everybody know Debbie's naked?
You better not.
I will.
Well, I already said it here, so a lot of people are going to hear it anyways, so I guess it doesn't matter.
So, you know what? That's the best time for me to watch podcasts. And when I get home, if it's before the kids get back from school and sometimes I watch. That's when I really can watch.
Yeah, in the evening.
And when Ronnie's not home and the TV's not, literally when Ronnie is not home,
the TV's not on.
Does not go on.
I know. It's the same at my house.
I mean, everybody's got TVs in their room, so I just sit and knit, and I put my little earbud in, and I watch podcasts.
Yeah.
So.
And there's so many out there. All the things we do
in our birthday suits. Did you not realize that? Wow.
I think we're not the only ones. We're not that creative.
Probably not. We're probably the only ones that admitted it.
In front of however many people will watch this.
Probably 3. Oh, that was another thing. Remember, it was like late morning, and I was looking back, and I went, Debbie, 3 people watched the video!
We were thinking, wouldn't it be amazing if we got 100 viewers?
Oh my gosh, would that be awesome? This week has been just so fun, guys.
I could not work on Monday. I could not work. I was so distracted, and I'm thinking, how am I going to get my work done? I'm just going to be like...
I'm a new baby in the house.
I know. It's so exciting. Oh, and speaking of new baby with my shawl pattern, I just wanted to say thank you everybody that bought my pattern. It's not nearly as popular and crazy popular like yours was. Within the first 2 days, she had like over 100 people knitting her pattern. But that's okay. I don't care. I want to say thank you to the people that did buy my pattern and are knitting it up. Because it's so special to me. And I don't think I said this on our last podcast, but Wendy was a teacher of deaf kids at the Philadelphia School for the Deaf. Maybe I did mention that. I don't remember. I think I did. Yeah, I'm going to donate some proceeds, 20% of the pattern sales to the the San Diego Unified School District, to that section of the school that has the special programs for hearing impaired and deaf kids.
She would really, really appreciate that.
I know. And one of the people that commented on the YouTube channel on our podcast said that Wendy was looking down on us and smiling and laughing with us. I thought that was very sweet.
Oh yes.
She said the commenter said that Wendy was very proud of us, and that just brought a little twinkle to my eye. That was very cool.
Poke her so people know where she is.
Poke the lady?
No, poke her.
Oh, here. There she is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get her down, and I'm gonna show everybody because I don't think anybody got to see her. This is Wendy's. Make sure I get all the dust off. This is Wendy's graduation picture from when she graduated from high school.
Hold it in front of your face so it's right in the center. Yes.
Yes, Miss Bossy Kitty.
Yes. Perfect. Perfect. Hi, Wendy.
Hi, Wen. Oh, so you know what I should do is I should take that clip from that video picture frame, not video, the audio picture frame. I should stick that at the end of the broadcast. Maybe I'll do that.
You need to do that.
I'll have to tell that story.
See, I brought a tissue for a reason.
Aim, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you cry.
It's okay.
She's watching. And man, if she were here, we would never get a word in edgewise. So it's, it's maybe not.
It's probably better that there's no 3 split screen because she'd be like, I am so not sharing part of the screen with y'all.
She'd have her own podcast with 1 million followers, and we would just be like riding her coattails.
We would. But it's weird, even after 14 years, it's still, people say, well, time heals. That's a bunch of bunk.
I know. It really doesn't.
You just find a new set of normal, which is not the way it was before. But
and I really liked how you said last time, Amy. It was kind of like an aha moment with me last time when we were recording, and you said you have all these memories of your loved one when you guys were together and they were here and everything. But when you said, but you don't make any new memories.
Yeah.
And that was just like, yeah, that's true, and that's the tough part. That sucks. Oh, so wait, real quick, because we did whips, we did finished objects, and I just wanted to show my bags that I'm holding my objects in, and this one was actually made for me, given to me by my good friend Amelia.
Hold it in front of your face because you could get it cut off.
Oh, that's right, I forgot. She has this really cute little tag on there.
She's a mill carve.
1963.
1963.
Yeah, we got that wrong last time, so I wanted to correct that. And
we'll
then
put it down here.
And then this is one of my little fishy bags that I made before I even started selling bags. Isn't that cute? I love that fabric.
You made that, Debbie?
Yeah.
You are so talented. Maybe I ought to go to the Etsy shop and buy one of your bags.
Oh, I'm never going to live it down. Oh, so that kind of it doesn't really segue. We're not there yet. We have a couple other things to talk about, and we're getting kind of long, so we got to kind of
shorten the words. Move on.
Okay. So you wanted to talk about the anatomy of the knitter.
Oh yeah, so that's going to be a new little segment that we're going to do because I'm a physical therapist and I'm going to sort of give you guys something to think about that you could talk about when you go to your knitting group or whatever. Okay, so the anatomy of the knitter is going to be our one little segment that I'm going to teach you about the human body, the G-rated parts of the human body. Does everybody know what that's called? Right in front of your face. This is called a hitchhiker's thumb. It is genetic. You can see that Debbie and I both have a hitchhiker's thumb. Because Mother has a hitchhiker's thumb, right? I don't know that Dad has a hitchhiker's thumb. Most people's thumb go like this, but very few can make it go like this. So,
okay.
Check out your kids, see if they've got a hitchhiker's thumb, and usually it is bilateral. So, ask if they've got a hitchhiker's thumb. And find out, did they get it from your husband? If you don't have it and they do, they probably have it from your husband. So that is the anatomy of the knitter.
Well, what does that let you do?
It doesn't let you do anything. And even if you hitchhike, as long as you go put your thumb up, it doesn't have to do that.
Well, it makes me knit faster.
It does not make you knit faster. But you know what? When I hold my needles, I notice that I'm holding them and it's bent back. And sometimes it gets sore. It gets kind of sore. Does it to you? No?
I don't hold my needles like that. Well, I don't know. Maybe it does happen over time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is just completely useless information about the anatomy of the body that pertains to knitting.
Okay. That was very fascinating. Very
fascinating facts that you'll never use. Okay.
That's like useless facts by Luke Reese that aren't necessarily true. When Luke gets to talking, his dad says, "Oh, another useless fact that's not necessarily true by Luke Reese." Okay, so the next little segment is our Skeins in the Closet segment.
Skeins in the Closet. Shh. You gotta find some music that goes dun 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 or something like that.
Okay.
Okay,
get
so
on that.
Let's talk about our little outing and our fun little shopping trip that we did before we did our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Because of our twinsy best friend sisters up in Canada, we're doing a swap with, a sister swap. We went and we bought some really awesome things. Then I was watching the rest of their podcast that I did not see. And guess what? 2 of the 4 skeins they had already had.
They bought.
Sweet Georgia. This is it's Cash Luxe Fine, this beautiful chocolate color, and that beautiful cream color.
What's the colorway called on yours, Amy?
I don't know, Debbie. Is there a
yes.
colorway? Oh, espresso.
Oh, that's a different color than what they had, but I think this one is one of the ones that they had. This one's called Birch. And I think for sure one of them was knitting with Birch.
Okay, so Periscope ready?
The lighting's not real good on my end.
I don't think mine either.
Oh my gosh, obviously I've caked it up and I'm using it for a project that I'm not going to show, but this yarn, you guys, it's merino cashmere nylon, right?
I've never used Sweet Georgia before. Okay, so now that they know
that we didn't get them this.
because we decided, because the other skeins that we had bought to go with these.
Where's yours?
They couldn't be separated. So we had to just keep them for ourselves. We had to go back shopping again, which was really fun. Here's mine. This is Zen Garden. And this is on Serenity Glitter Sock. And this is a one-of-a-kind.
And mine is called... Yeah, mine's one-of-a-kind, too. What does yours say under the one-of-a-kind, Abe?
San Diego 4-5.
Mine says San Diego 2-8.
What does that mean?
I think they were dyed specifically for that store, and they just labeled them San Diego.
But isn't that beautiful? So, sorry, grocery girls, you were going to get these.
But you didn't.
But you didn't.
You got something good, though.
You're getting something else. Okay. Down yarn.
Down yarn.
Okay, so what else I also got in the mail is I am going to finally knit up the picture for my Wendy Flower Box cowl. using Dancing Dog Dye Works, Michelle's.
Oh, AIM, that's so pretty.
This is the periwinkle.
So which are you going to use for which? You going to do the outline in the blue in the middle?
Yes, I'm gonna do inside the little flower box is gonna be this periwinkle.
Oh, really?
And this beautiful stripy multicolored is gonna be the squares around and in between. Because there's a lot more of this, and this is gonna knit up. I mean, I wanted to show it. I wanted to show it for the podcast, but I've been dying to cake it up because it would already be knit up by now.
You're going to have so much worsted weight yarn. You're going to have to make a worsted mitered square blanket.
Don't tempt me. I'll show that next time. I did start a 10-stitch blanket.
Is that all you got for skeins in the closet?
Yes. You have more?
What do you mean more? I have some.
This is not a competition.
It's not a competition, but I just got some stuff in the mail yesterday, and I got crinkles, so I'm going to try.
Because I haven't seen it.
Well, this wasn't in the mail. I actually went down to the yarn store yesterday.
What you're doing, if there was no capital W, you would be there more often than you already are.
Yes.
Thank God there's a capital W, because then you would be able to buy yarn if there wasn't a capital W. Oh my gosh. Look at all those are those unicorn tails, maybe?
No. This is a kit. I'm probably not going to make the pattern that this was intended for. Oops. I just dropped one on the floor.
Like I did last time.
So I should have looked it up. Maybe I'll be able to put it down here. But there's a shawl pattern that has like a colorful stripe that then has like a little leaf at the end.
Uh-huh.
And you've seen that.
Yes.
That's what this was intended for, but this is Ba La Jolla, and this one's called Black Pearl. It's 100% superwash merino. It's just a plain black, really pretty, deep black that I know I will use this in something.
You wear gray. You wear a lot of that.
A lot of black and gray. And then look at these. Let me see if I can get them lined up so that they're kind of in order.
Any day now.
I know. I'm sorry. I was not prepared.
Oh, is that a rainbow?
It's a rainbow.
Must I look at it?
Amy, be nice already.
I'm trying to be.
Look how pretty though.
It is very pretty. If you separate them all.
That one's coming up blue. This one's not blue. It's purple, people.
Love that one best.
So I might do some colorwork socks with this. Or I might put them in my blanket. I don't know, but look at those colors.
How many yards are there?
There are 50 yards, 14 grams.
Wow, they're like...
I'm gonna do a Mina yarn face.
And I'm not against rainbows. Well, I kind of am against rainbows. I'm not really against rainbows. Rainbows are okay. Real rainbows are beautiful. But rainbows have been shoved down our throat last year. It's just like...
There was a lot of rainbow going on.
I am so rainbowed out.
So that's one thing. And then this.
What?
Just came in the mail. I swear I ordered this, I think it was in January. And I didn't realize that it was kind of like a club thing where it was like a pre-order. And then the pre-orders close and then they dye it all at one time and then they send it all out. And this was their March colorway thing.
Oh, you forgot you had gotten that?
No, I didn't forget. I was just waiting. I just didn't know when it was going to come.
Oh.
And this is from the O-Loops girls. Fiber by Design. Do you remember when I ordered that and showed it to you? I actually ordered it like... It was so impulsive. I saw it when I was walking to the restroom or something at work. And I was like, oh my God, I got to have that.
See, I'm not the only one that sees little kitties run by. Oh, good job. Wow. Debbie, those are beautiful. Wow. And they're both, the dark one looks more tonal, is it?
This is more tonal.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful, Debbie.
And then look at this one. Look at the speckles in that thing.
What's it called? Shelton Kisses?
Stolen Kisses.
Stolen Kisses. That reminds me of Danny, those colors.
Doesn't it? Look
Oh,
at that.
Debbie, those are beautiful. Look at the coral.
Yes, that coral color is fabulous.
What are you going to make with it?
I don't know.
Oh, that's beautiful.
A 2-color shawl for something.
Mm-hmm.
And then what also came with that, look.
Wow.
Oh, minis. Aren't they beautiful?
Yes, they're cute. Look at this beautiful green one.
There's no green in
Wow.
there.
Pretty, pretty, pretty.
There's no green in there. Does that look
Isn't
green?
What is that color? Is that like a
this
brown?
one?
No, on the other side.
This one.
The second to the end.
It's like a rosy brown.
And the greenish
Oh,
one.
this one is like a goldenrod, kind of cold,
Okay.
golden color.
Looks greenish to me.
Thank
really
you, O-Loops girls.
Very nice.
That's Lydia and Sarah from the Fiber by Design. They're the O-Loops girls, and I love. This is the first yarn I've ever bought. I love the colors, and I can't wait to knit them up. They are 75% merino, 25% nylon, 463 yards per skein.
Wow.
I love this one. I cannot get enough of that. Look at that dark, dark, dark pink right there.
I know, that's very pretty. Wow.
Yay!
Yay! Put it in your... You hardly have any room on your shelf anymore.
I do. I'll find a spot for it. And then look what came with it. This cute little... Here, I gotta get it out of here. Cute little progress keeper that's like a little birdie sitting on a branch.
Oh.
So
I like when they send little extras like that. Oh, that's cute. Oh. Very sweet. Oh, I love that. Very nice.
So that's the last of our segments except for Humble Happenings.
Okay.
And I only have one little thing for Humble Happening. My son is watching me, making me self-conscious. Go away.
Tell him to
Go
sit
away.
down. Tell him to come in and say hello, but he's going to have to, like, sit on your lap.
You don't have to be self-conscious.
You want to come in and say hi to all my peeps?
I am not judgmental.
Okay, don't lean in crazy.
Is it
Come
Lupe or
around.
James?
Come all the way around.
Of
Come
course
around
it's
this way. Okay, whatever. Teenagers.
Is it James or Luke?
It's
Luke.
James.
It was James?
No,
Luke.
it was Luke.
Okay.
He's laughing at you. I love this.
I know, I love that too. That's cute, Debbie. Very cute.
So the only thing that I have on Humble Happenings is I talked about it. You know, that's what people say is good about a podcast is it keeps you honest and it makes you knit more so you have something to show. And when you say you're going to do something, it makes you feel like you really ought to do it because you got to stick to your word.
Is that what they say?
Some people do. You must not have been listening that time.
I must not have been paying attention then.
So last week I had talked about waiting to get organized for my bags for a logo and a tag
Yes.
for my bags. So I worked
Yes.
with my friend. Thank you very much, Keith. I know you're not going to be watching this, but thank you, Keith, for helping me. He's one of my engineering designer, what do you call it? Graphics extraordinaire. He helped you with something too, graphics-wise, that was very cool. And so I created my little logo thing for labels for my bags. As you know, our Etsy shop is called Debbie Reese Designs because I had that name and I had opened it under that name. And Amy has some yarns in there. Go and check out her yarns, people.
Don't even go. Don't even waste your time.
They'll be sold like
No, they
that
will not.
because
It's
they're the
not.
only yarns that Aunt Amy that Amy has dyed, and she may not dye anymore. Unless all those get sold, then maybe she'll dye some more.
Before I die anymore.
No, you really enjoyed that, and I think if people bought them and you had a little bit of a sales from that.
Somebody goes and buys them, they're going to have to feel pity. I was like, oh gosh, go buy Amy's yarn.
No, you should go and look because you never know. There might be something in there that you really love. And you would be one of the first people to have an Amy Meeks hand-dyed yarn, and the way she has them packaged up, they're beautiful. So
Oh,
go and look.
They're right here. They're on the floor under a towel, if you can believe it. And they won't be the first person because two people have already gotten my yarns.
I know, but those were gifted, right?
I
No,
don't-
some of them were bought. People
Yes.
bought some. I like how you covered your chair.
Because it has duct tape holding a pillow on the back.
I didn't say it.
I
didn't
was called
say
out on a Periscope because I had to get up, and then I came back, and somebody was putting a comment. I think it was Anna Hersey. It was so funny. She says,
Is that duct tape on your chair?
So I had to cover it with one of Mom's quilts. Okay, so now it's completely out there for the world to see. This is called Royalty Wannabe. This is one of my...
Isn't that beautiful? Amy, that's gorgeous.
Oh, you know.
It's going to sell.
A little
Debbie
tag.
Reese
Have some-
Designs. Look at those packaging, and she's got little stitch markers there, too.
I have what it all about is on the back, my little stitch markers. Okay, so,
Show the other ones.
do I need to bend down again?
Well, how many more do you have?
Well, what do you think? Alright, I'll just show one more. This one's called Snapdragon.
Oh, Aim, that's so pretty. That reminds me of the terrarium colorway.
Here's a little
It's got a
card.
lot more gold in it, though. That's pretty, Aim.
Thank you.
Okay, so I came up with a logo for a label for my bags, and I sent it off to a little Etsy seller who's going to print it on cotton twill ribbon, and then I'm going to fold it in half and sew it into the seam of my bags.
Oh, good, Deb. You found somebody to do that.
Yes, and look.
I love this. It's so awesome. Okay, hold it still right there. Now we need to talk about our sign of the fish.
I know, and I'm going to tell them about it. So this symbol right here is like partly my signature. It's a D and an R with the sign of the fish. And the sign of the fish, if you don't know, used to be used by the early disciples in order to identify themselves because they were persecuted a lot. They weren't able to be openly followers of Christ.
Shit.
And so it was their kind of secret way of identifying themselves with each other. They would pick up a stick and they would draw a sign of the fish in the dirt, in the sand, and then they could just scuff it away with their foot when they were done. If the other person didn't make the sign of the fish, then they knew that they weren't a Christian and they probably, should be quiet about it.
Probably got their head chopped off after that.
Yes, well, we don't want to think about that because thank God that doesn't happen in this country.
No.
But my mom was the first one really to incorporate the sign of the fish. She had a pottery studio in our basement, and when we were younger, she took some time off work and she actually created pottery. She threw on a wheel, and she also did some building that way, but most of her stuff was on a wheel. And she had a tiny little store where she took an old train station and she converted it into a store.
The sparrow's
The
nest.
sparrow's nest. It's so funny that came to you so easily, Amy, because when I was talking to Mom and Dad, she's like, now what was the name of that?
She could remember the name?
Not immediately.
Mother.
But she did. She remembered just after a few seconds. She and Dad both remembered.
Okay.
And so she sold her pottery there, and she would always sign her pottery with the sign of the fish, and she would put her initials over top of it.
Yeah.
So for me to be able to incorporate that into my little logo with my little bags was kind of like a continuation of the legacy of our little sign of the fish. So that...
Let me show them my, this is my logo. Can you see it, Debbie?
Yes, sign of the fish with an A.
Yep. And Wendy did the same thing. When she would make cards or make projects, she had her own initials with her own sign of the fish incorporated in there. So it's really interesting.
Yeah,
Fun.
it's
I
fun.
love that logo. So you're going to get your tag soon?
Yeah, so behind the logo, I don't know if you can see, is like a little aqua swoosh also in the sign of the fish, just to give it a little pop of color. So that hopefully will be coming in the next week or
So
two.
that'll be folded over, so it'll say Debbie Reese Designs on one side, and I'll have the D on the other.
Yes.
That's you.
And then I think I'm going to put like, I got the idea from Chris Kelly's little bag. She has like a little D ring in that
yes.
little fold. So I'll probably do that. It'll be another way that people can carry their bags. So I'm excited about that. So that's my humble happening.
Yay! So I think I'm probably gonna have Let me get the last one that I knit. Actually, I started it on the plane coming home. I did get it finished. This is Wendy's Flower Box Cowl.
Pretty.
And
I wish that dark purple came back.
I know if you knitted it like another several inches, it probably would, but we're going to be using these to knit up the next one.
Yay!
So the recommendations are going to be for, yay! For Michelle's yarns, they are so soft, and it really doesn't take that much yarnage. And you guys, you can knit it in like a weekend. If you have a whole day that's rainy, you can knit it in one day. So be on the lookout for that. I'll post it on Instagram when the pattern's up and ready to roll. So.
And we're going to give a quick little teaser about our next design.
Okay,
so
yes, I'm not going to say anything because Debbie always says, you say too much, blah, blah. Okay, you say what you want to say.
Okay, so what I'm going to say is this. Amy and I have collaborated on a design. We have the whole design pretty much done. We're writing up the pattern. We have a friend of ours who most of you know because you watch her podcast, Tiny Paper Foxes. Jenny has offered to tech edit our next pattern for us as a gift. So thank you, Jenny, very much for offering those services. I know that that's something she's going to be excellent at. She does a lot of editing stuff for her work on a day-to-day basis. And I think she's trying to branch out her capabilities in her fiber world interactions, and so she's going to become a tech editor. So thank you very much, Jenny, for that.
Yes, thank you.
And we also have we're going to announce the yarn company that we're collaborating with is actually providing yarn support for us, which is so exciting. Right. Yes, you're the one that did it.
Oh, I know. Okay.
Drum roll. Brrr. So this is a local company to California, and most of you probably already know the name of this company, but the name is Anzula Luxury Fibers.
Yay!
Can you believe that they want to like collaborate with the two little us? That's like amazing. High five.
Okay.
So we're going to be using their squishy base. It's going to be a 3-color shawl, and
no, it is not.
Oh, 3-color wrap. Excuse me.
Thank
3-color wrap.
I don't do shawls. I'm not old enough to wear a shawl. Okay, so
right.
It's going to be a crescent-shaped wrap.
Crescent-shaped wrap. And, Mom, I need to call you and talk to you about it because we would like for you to be involved as well and have a little contribution into our design. So it's going to come from the ladies of the Mushek family, and we're very excited about it, and we're going to release the pattern. If all goes well, we're going to release the pattern the month of Wendy's birthday, which is the month of July. Mm-hmm. And we have 4 fabulous test knitters that they will be the first to really reveal pictures of this pattern because Amy and I have said we're going to keep it quiet until we give them a chance to do some knitting on it, and then they will be able to reveal some of their progress as they knit it. So it's very exciting.
You want to tell them the name so they can be thinking about it?
The names? Oh, the name of the pattern. Yes. So the name of the pattern is
Random Act of Color.
Yes.
Because Wendy, you know, the whole random act of kindness, random act of color, random act of crazy, that is all what Wendy was about.
Yeah.
I mean, she, like I said, she was so giving and so generous, and she would do without for other people to have.
It's so true.
So this is a pattern that's, I know, 3 colors. Everybody's just like, 2 colors I can do. 3 colors, it takes a little more thought, but it's like 2 colors hang out, play together, and then Wendy shows up to the party, and that's color 3 or color C. So I think it's really going to be great. It's really going to be fun. So just kind of be on the lookout. You probably won't hear anybody on other podcasts talk about it just yet. It's probably going to be at least a month or more before we get the yarn dyed and get it out. But it's coming. So it's going to be really fun to do in July. So yeah, we're looking forward to it.
So I think that's all we have, Aim.
No bathroom breaks, no eating tissues.
No,
we
no
did so
super crazy.
Good, didn't we?
We did.
I'm proud of us.
Me too. So everybody remember, if you can't be kind,
be quiet.
Bye. Thank you for watching.
Next time. Bye.